It's the 10th of January, year of our Lord 2023. And ears are ringing. How you
Very
doing?
good.
How you doing today, Brandy?
I'm doing absolutely awesome on purpose, no matter what. Awesome. I can't believe the work we get done.
Well, it's all about intention, right?
That it is.
I saw a blurb today that, let's see if I can pull it up here. Yep, one click. So I think this is sort of a synopsis of what we're talking about here. I think FF stands for Shirley Effed.
Wow.
More trucks. Everybody's leaving. They're coming out. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd be leaving too. There's so the filter I've got on here is the rain. There is some flooding. Yesterday, all of this was flooded. San Francisco Basin. There's not been any let up for. Are we 2 weeks in? I mean, have you heard from our boy out there in the basin? Did he say that he had to boat himself to work yesterday?
Yeah, he said it was getting rough.
Well, so California's still a hotbed of activity. We're seeing a little bit more happen across the U.S. When you look at it from this height, they sure do draw some lines that sort of squiggle through. Just saying, we have more earthquake activity than we had in quite some time. Look here, it's the ocean. It's outside of Alaska. Anchorage is right down here in the middle. How do I not have flooding? Because I have the flooding filter on. How do I not have flooding in all the coastal regions when I had a string of earthquakes happen from 7:37 a.m., this was almost at noon, 1 o'clock, 2:05 a.m., 2:45 p.m. So across a period of time, I had pulsating and rhythmic underground earthquakes of some magnitude within a vicinity of a coastline in a cove. So if you splash your hand in a bucket of water, isn't something going to leak up there? Wouldn't that just be just a little bit of flooding?
It would.
Okay, well, where's the flooding? I have flooding over here.
So
Flooding.
what does the white represent? Let's figure that one out. What is that snow? Is it
That's
freezing?
Snow. Yeah, that's snow.
Wow.
Let's do a satellite overlay. Oh, where's my satellite? I'm already in Earth. Storm track, lightning.
Your turn.
Yeah, that's actually a fairly important call. But this is more important. Okay, so radar. Here's what I want. So here's what I've got going on right now. Let's take out the earthquakes. Here's what I've got going on right now, including my flooding zones. So I've still got weather warfare happening. So this is a down-looking picture. This doesn't get updated as much, but this all the white stuff that you see, that's actual snowpack that's here now. And
Wow.
it looks like Salt Lake City's getting pounded. I mean, this is what the weather guys use. So we should probably put this link. I think I've done that a couple of times. I get more asked for that. Anchorage has got, boy, man, they're about to get torn up. Well, I don't know. This is going to be a mountain range, So if you think about how air pressure and barometric pressure engage and function, these different color sequences that are through here, I can tell you this is darker. But as these come in, you see how those are always just swirl motion that's coming in. These are all Fibonacci curves, by the way. So, I mean, we've been seeing this weather turmoil, this weather tyranny. This is all supposed to be real time stuff, and we're not getting some input from other parts of the where we've been getting it for quite some time. The wind speed indicators are showing that we're getting, there's the thermal layers moving, but just like there's lines and patterns here, we see these same lines in the earthquake map. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me because earthquakes are supposed to move upon tectonic layers, which do not succumb to the same level of vibration frequency engagement that you see. So this is sort of better, right? If there's a fault line here, but if we've had all these earthquakes, especially this one right here, I don't know, that's a little bit inland, but it is a 4.3. That's not just a little. Hey, did you get my tap on the shoulder? We saw a bunch of 7s the other day, so I don't know what the depths of these are. I can hear people asking that question. I don't get them in this indicator set. But what the heck is going on here? And how do we not have flooding, especially here? These suckers should be freaking swamped. No flooding. Nothing. How is this not covered in exactly the same color sequence that this is covered in, where we have had consistent flooding for days? I've got multiple layers. Yeah, there's more sensors here, but that Alaska region's been active for a very long time, and they always talk about all the studies they're doing. Well, studies are driven by sensors. so where's my flooding with all those waterborne earthquakes over an amount of time in an island structure? Come on, that does not make any sense. Tell me I'm wrong, Brandon.
I don't think so. Should we be concerned about the bridge in San Francisco?
No way, man. Tartarians built that sucker. Really? So the Golden Gate Bridge is supposed to be one of the first suspension bridges that were built. This is most of I do not agree with most of the history that's written about this. So the question hypothesized by our producer and chief bottle washer and cook is how do we build the Golden Gate and when did this happen? So we'll do this on the fly here, like we like to do things. It's a good question, Brandy. I think it's worth a little bit of on the fly research. I know quite a bit of this by heart, but we'll go through here. 1933. Okay, so in 33, we got a lot of tyranny going on. We've got all this. There's storms and there's all. We've been through this, right? 33 is one of the we think might be one of the flood events. Oh, in the middle of that, guess what? They started building this little old bridge.
And taking away everyone's gold.
Oh, yeah. Well, look how expensive it is.
Not to mention that's when they started income tax.
Well, oh, my. Look at you. So 32, 33, construction starts. From 33 to 36, they get the main pylons in. So they take 3 years to put the pylon set in. This is this absolutely looks Tartarian, does it not? So if we go back here to videos, the one I want is, I've never seen that. I don't want to spend that much time. Let's go. How do I not have this video in this? Is this from goldgate.org? It is. There's my video. You rat bastards.
In the 1920s, long before the technologies and advancements of today's construction industry, a scheme was conceived to build an impossible bridge across the Golden Gate Strait in California.
The hypothesis is, will this thing be troubled by the storms that are brewing and all of the turmoil in the basin?
Today, that structure remains one of the world's most famous landmarks. But to truly appreciate the magnitude of this achievement...
Hold on. I've never seen this. Let's go back here for a second.
Okay.
An impossible bridge across the Golden Gate Strait in California.
We don't need that shithead. Okay, look. Look at what's happening. Look at what's happening right here. I don't know if this stupid more videos crap. As we come into the scene, doesn't it look like this is part of an old substructure they just tore everything out of? What went in the middle of all this? Would that maybe been an installation of an infrastructure piece that they took out? Let's keep going. We're gonna do it this way. I have zero patience for this. Where's my speed? Here it is. Only 2 times. That's all I get. Okay. So here's the expanse that we're covering. It's they look at it. We've got current issues. So how do you build the pylons? Well, you're not supposed to be able to do that with the tech of the time. They had a ferry system that was prolific, and it was holding up commerce between the two sets, because what's really happened recently is California has turned from a cataclysmic event set and being having to deal with an offshore island to coming on and being now connecting some straits that were there before. But so as I'm building, right, these suspension pieces, this is all about elevated response and tension control. So the load bearing set in the middle of the bridge here is actually held up by the distributed load from these components here. Now, no way they're going to show us California as an island. There's no way you're going to get away with that. So the Golden Gate Bridge comes up. Look at this. Look at the architecture of this. So yeah, don't these look like some of the cymatic pieces that we've seen? You remember that 1 hertz level that was up there about 2780, where it turned into consecutive lines?
Right.
Then it looks sort of like the suspension bridge component resolving load bearers. That's what these are. They'll say, oh, those are sway. They are not. They're in specific frequency. Almost looks like the inside lines in one of those chapels, doesn't it?
It does. Amazing the technology we have lost.
Yes, exactly. I've got socks older than this kid. Okay, keep going. Where's my, okay, we've seen part of these basin pictures. Can I close that? Oh, look at that. I'm not an idiot. Okay, so this is our gate set. All of this is the Inner Peninsula. We've seen the mouth of this in a million maps. California Island was out here at one point, or this was the edge that came in. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just still rebuilding. So does this look like a city that's been built in a short amount of time? I mean, I know this is a black and white photo. I can tell by the grayscale it looks too good to me. I'm not achieved by color. So and what was it taken from? It was probably taken from a dirigible.
From a what?
A dirigible, like the Hindenburg.
Yeah, okay.
It's a big balloon, but it's oblong, like almost like a football. It's got a great carry weight. So this is our basin. It's what we keep seeing. Imagine it. Look everywhere that it doesn't match up. That's where something big, huge, and important most likely was. Possibly down here in this entire region. I'm telling you, there's Starfort here that we haven't found, or maybe it was replaced and put downtown. But this is San Francisco. This was the heart of the Tartarian Americas, and all of it has been replaced by all of this crap. Does this look a little bit like the top of one of the spires in the old churches that were collection devices? This entire building, the Transamerica building?
Yes, it sure does.
It's right in front of you. Just gonna see it. We watched the 1906 4 days before. What's up here? What do they do to us? So these are supposed to be pylon laying exercises. They're trying to fight the currents and get the baselines down so that they can set them to true. Okay, boy, that was quick, wasn't it?
Wow.
Wasn't that pretty quick? Where'd that come from?
That was like magic. Maybe magic.
Yeah. They went from here. Oh, what's going on? We got this little part done. Oh, holy shit! What do you just add water and it grows? Oh, this is a great pick. I love this pick. I've seen other versions of this. This guy's got to have balls that spark when he walks. I mean, clank, clank. How'd you do it way to work, honey? You know what that is? That's 1 billion miles away in your head. That's all water. The water at that speed, with a fall rate of about 10 meters per second squared, it turns into concrete. It changed its level. You get hit that hard and it goes rock solid. It's like you're dead.
Yes, I would say.
Yeah. So this is the junction piece at the top. Look at the way this sort of curves up, and there's a light up here. Can you imagine if there were maybe a spire on the top of this? That all this, oh, wait a minute, the waterways, aren't they part of the power grid? Yep.
Truth is coming out, dear.
So these are supposed to be guy wire sets, but these are going to put up an end of. Okay, here we are. So you've got the two pieces up. Wow, that was spraying up like it got watered, right? And this happens pretty quickly. And then these are the leads for the suspensions. Now they'll hang the panel pieces across the bottom in support.
For something so massive, it sure looks like it went up really fast.
Really fast. And how have these not corroded away to nothing with the salt? Yep. See that? This is the suspension bridge part. Did we catch that too quick? So they're laying panels. This is a panel laying exercise. See how it's almost bowed up? It's because the combined weight of the structure will settle into an equilibrium, sort of like almost a Lagrange point. Look over here. You know when this is. Everybody's got a hat. Everybody's got a hat. White hat, black hat, red hat, blue hat. Part of the program. Part of the program.
And now everyone wears a baseball hat.
And look at this. It looks like it's almost lit up. You know, now everyone wears a baseball cap. That's right, because they're a player. They're in the game. There's a contract. Okay. Don't get me started. So, I mean, how many years did this take? And this is in the middle of the 30s where we're supposed to have the Dust Bowl, the greatest depression of all time, the culmination of the stock market crash in 29 that rolls into prohibition. And
gold being taken away, income tax being pushed on people.
Oh, but we got money to do this, which has been standing now for quite some time. So am I worried about losing this in the, what was that little adjustment of water that could have been in place for something that would have worked before? Now they're telling us it's getting old and they're going to have to bring it down. Yep. Can't have too much tertiary architecture. So by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who've not been to Great California, where we just were is this. Where's the Basin Bridge? San Francisco, Oakland. Yep. Yeah. So this is the suspension bridge that we were just there, Golden Gate Bridge. So how are we doing right now? Huh? Looks like that's about, what time is it? Oh, this is lagging. Or it's highlighted itself because we should be not there unless that's moonlight reflection, which it's not. So this is the bridge that we're in. It connected everything. The island of California was farther out. Anyway, California, no bueno. Still flooded, still getting pounded. If you got friends in California, keep them in prayer. And for somehow I've droned on for 18 minutes over the question of will the Golden Gate Bridge survive? What do you think, Brandy? You think it might make it?
I think it's going to make it. It's going to be the backwards of what everyone thinks.
Why would you say it that way?
Because everything since we began our dig is actually mirrored from what we thought it was.
So we have been lied to about when we are,
where
we are, what we are, and
that one for sure,
and what we are capable of.
That's right.
And that lie has been easy to swallow because it's done with a hand to our necks. Then tyranny. So this is the local tyranny. Get your tyranny. Tyranny me harder, Daddy. So send and prepare for those in California that they rise above and persevere through these times of tyranny. For hopefully they are changing. That is my hope and my intention.
And hopefully without fear, they are strong. They move forward and do what the Lord tells them to do.
They have ears to hear and eyes to see and mouths to make vibration that has success in their life. So make it so. Make it so.
Shall it be. So shall it be.
Okay. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Well, I want to say goodnight to the 6 people who's watching over on Twitch.
We have
Brandy
6.
and Gandalf says hello.
I don't
And
have
y'all
one.
need to each bring a person next time, and we're going to grow.
I think we need a college drinking game around every time Gandalf says something they never heard before or something. I don't know. It's stupid.
So good night, Gandalf. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Gracie.